My lovely students, welcome to Mathological. In this session, we'll be discussing some emotional quotient based questions for XGMT examination. And start करते हैं session को. And if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe to channel. साथ में like the content as well, like this video as well. अगर session पसंद आता है तो. And also join Telegram channel Mathological and can message me on Telegram at ADITYAKT for any questions or queries. So first question, Priya is appearing for XGMT 2026. Appearing for XGMT examination. She has spent 10 minutes on a single question and is still stuck but feels she can solve it. Which internal response is most damaging to her overall performance? So there are four options. Which one should be the correct answer? Which internal response is most damaging to her overall performance? Option A. ठीक है, इंटरनली क्या सोच रही है तो कौन सा रिस्पॉन्स should be most damaging. Option A, I have invested too much time to leave this unsolved now. यानी कि already she has spent 10 minutes, so she should keep solving it because she has invested too much time. Okay. Option B, this question is a trap. I need to move on immediately. Option C, I will mark this for review and return if time permits. And option D, I need to take a deep breath to lower my heart rate. Which one is most damaging? Question asking. Most damaging कौन सा होगा? So ऑप्शन ए कह रहा है इन्वेस्टेड टू मच टाइम सो टू लीव अनसॉल्व्ड. दिस इज बेसिकली संक कॉस्ट फैलेसी कि ऑलरेडी इन्वेस्टमेंट अच्छा खासा कर दिया है सो अब तो पीछे नहीं हट सकते. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज इन एग्जाम कंडीशंस विद लिमिटेड टाइम एंड यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. दिस इज अ रॉन्ग अप्रोच बिकॉज दिस विल अल्टीमेटली हैम्पर योर टाइम फॉर द टाइम गिवन फॉर अदर क्वेश्चंस एज वेल एंड यू माइट स्टिल नॉट बी एबल टू सॉल्व इट. और अगर सॉल्व कर भी लिया ऑलरेडी 10 मिनट्स तुमने स्पेंड कर दिए हैं, सॉल्व कर भी लिया और टाइम बर्बाद हो गया तो देयर इज नो पॉइंट. तो ऑप्शन ए इज नॉट द राइट डायरेक्शन. ऑप्शन बी, दिस क्वेश्चन इज अ ट्रैप, आई नीड टू मूव ऑन इमीडिएटली, सीम्स लॉजिकल एंड इन द राइट डायरेक्शन. तो आंसर नहीं होगा क्योंकि आंसर हमारा कौन सा होना है, मोस्ट डैमेजिंग जो होगा. तो बी शुड नॉट बी द आंसर. दिस इज नॉट मोस्ट डैमेजिंग क्योंकि ए तो अभी तक जीत रहा है उस डायरेक्शन में. ऑप्शन सी, आई विल मार्क दिस फॉर रिव्यू एंड रिटर्न इफ टाइम परमिट्स, दैट ऑल्सो मेक्स सेंस, तो नॉट द आंसर. Option D, I need to take a deep breath to lower my heart rate psychologically और stress कम करना है अपना. So that is also fine. Option A should be the answer because A will definitely be most damaging to her overall performance. Okay. So in general, sunk cost fallacy implies कि कभी भी in any situation, if you've already invested a lot of time in a wrong direction, in a direction that might not give you a fruitful result, तो वहाँ पे क्या करना है, वहाँ पे अपने आप को स्टॉप करके सोचना है कि क्या ये डायरेक्शन सही है. ठीक है. So just because you've invested a lot of time or money or something else does not mean emotions, does not mean कि अब वहाँ पे उसी रास्ते पे जाना पड़ेगा. ओके. सो इवन देन दिस माइट बी द राइट टाइम. ठीक है, अगर एक रॉन्ग बस में बैठ गए हो, एक लंबी डायरेक्शन तक जा चुके हो, तब भी वहाँ पे उतर के भी सही बस पकड़ के राइट डायरेक्शन में जाया जा सकता है. दैट शुड बी द बेस्ट अप्रोच. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, अ न्यू एम्प्लॉई फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट कल्चरल बैकग्राउंड इज ईटिंग लंच अलोन एवरी डे. सो वॉट should be the course of action? Option A, assume they want privacy and leave them alone. ठीक है, न्यू एम्प्लॉय है from a different cultural background and is eating lunch alone every day. Option A, assume they want privacy and leave them alone. Option B, invite them to join you and your team for the lunch. Option C, make jokes about their food to break the ice. Or option D, force them to sit with you. Option D is definitely not the right one because forcing them to sit does not make sense. Option C, making jokes about their food to break the ice. ठीक है, break the ice is good, but the first part, making jokes about their food because they are from different cultural background, that is not empathetic. That is wrong. Option C is also incorrect. ऑप्शन ए और बी में से कौन सा चूज करेंगे? ऑप्शन ए में ए इज सेइंग assume they want privacy and leave them alone. Now you are assuming they might not be wanting privacy, but the point is, but since that is a new employee and from a different cultural background, so this assumption might not be right. So B is the best answer, inviting them to join you and your team for the lunch. B is the best one. Okay, because A is about assumption, which might not be right. Okay, next one. You notice a teammate is consistently leaving early, leaving you with extra work. You feel resentful. तो यहाँ पे दो कंडीशंस हैं. देखो, पहला चीज तो है टीममेट है, दैट इज लिविंग अर्ली कंसिस्टेंटली एंड लिविंग यू विद एक्स्ट्रा वर्क एंड नाउ यू आर रिजेंटफुल बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. So you have to address the concern of the teammate. You have to understand the situation of the teammate as well as your own concern. So option A, complain to the boss immediately. This is immediate escalation. Instead of understanding what might be the reason behind the teammate leaving early. So you are not really understanding the point of the teammate. So option A is direct escalation, which is not right. Option B, stop doing your work too. अपना काम ही करना बंद कर दो. Definitely this is not the way. Option B is also incorrect. Option C, talk to the teammate privately to understand their situation. So in this case, you are talking to the teammate, trying to understand their situation, which is empathetic, and in the direction of, as we say in EQ, other awareness, awareness of others' emotions. Okay? So empathetic and awareness of others' emotions. Once you are aware of the emotions of the other person, then you can manage the relationship. Then you can regulate the emotions or manage the relationship with the other person, social skills. So definitely option C is the best one. Option D क्या gossip about them to other colleagues. This also does not make sense. Option C is the best answer. Next one. At a family dinner, a relative makes a casual remark that undermines your career choice. Others hear it. The comment is framed as a joke. So what should you do? Option A, respond with humor that subtly corrects the assumption. Option B, address the remark directly and firmly at the table. Option C, let it pass and bring it up privately later. Or option D, ignore it completely to keep the mood pleasant. Now ये बढ़िया question है. तो what should be the answer as per you? Option C कह रहा है let it pass and bring it up privately later. Okay, तो family dinner है. This is not a formal situation. This is a family dinner. A relative is making a casual remark. That remark undermines your career choice. Others have also heard it, and the comment is framed as a joke. Not a joke, but framed as a joke. So, what should you be doing? Definitely, if you are letting it pass and bringing it privately later, so you are delaying the resentment, you are delaying the addressal, है कि नहीं? Delay कर रहे हो. तो better होगा कि right now address करो because others have also heard it. So others are also involved. Other parties are also there. They have also heard it. So you cannot delay it. Delaying will not be the right solution. अगर अभी एड्रेस करते हो अच्छा ignoring it completely, that also goes in the similar lines कि ignoring it completely to keep the mood pleasant. In that case, ultimately क्या होगा? बाद में resentment होगा तुमको, short term peace हो जाएगा, but ultimately this will give you long term resentment. Isn't it so? क्योंकि तुम्हारा जो concern है, that casual remark is about your career choice. So this will ultimately make you resent your decision or make you regret because you have not addressed this issue right away जब ये आया. तो ऑप्शन डी इज डेफिनेटली नॉट करेक्ट. ऑप्शन सी में यू आर ब्रिंग इट अप प्राइवेटली विद दैट रिलेटिव बट अगेन अदर्स हैव आल्सो हर्ड इट, तो उनके साथ में रिजोल्यूशन नहीं होगा. तो ऑप्शन सी इज आल्सो नॉट करेक्ट. ए और बी में से विच शुड बी द बेटर ऑप्शन? बी इज सेइंग एड्रेस द रिमार्क डायरेक्टली एंड फर्मली एट द टेबल. नाउ यू कैन डू दैट, but the problem is this is a family dinner and this might actually escalate the issue. Because of bringing it directly and firmly, this might escalate the issue. Or option A कह रहा है respond with humor that subtly corrects the assumption. So that way the mood is maintained and you've also addressed the concern. So A is the better option among A and B. A is better than B and hence A should be chosen. Clear? Okay. Next one. A colleague publicly points out a minor error in your presentation during a meeting. How do you react? Publicly pointed out a minor error in the presentation. Option A, argue that the error is irrelevant. Option B, ignore them and continue. Option C, acknowledge the error, thank them and correct it later. Or option D, wait for the meeting to end and shout at them. Now, arguing, not the right approach. Ignoring, also not the right approach. ठीक है, though it is a minor error but it has been publicly pointed out, so ignoring that is also not right. Waiting for the meeting to end and shout at them, shouting, definitely incorrect. Option C is the best one. Acknowledge the error, thank them and correct it later. भाई एरर तो छोटी है तो भी एरर ही है, बाद में करेक्ट कर लेना उसको, बट एक्नॉलेज द एरर इमीडिएटली. नेक्स्ट वन. यू हैव मिस्ड अ क्रिटिकल डेडलाइन ड्यू टू प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन. प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन यानी कि डिलेइंग और आलस. ठीक है, सो यू हैव मिस्ड अ क्रिटिकल डेडलाइन. तो blame it on IT issues, admit the mistake to your manager and propose a recovery plan, call in sick to avoid the confrontation, submit incomplete work and hope they don't notice. So which should be the best course of action? Admitting the mistake to your manager and proposing a recovery plan. Blaming it on something else while the reason have been you all the time due to procrastination, so that is not right. Or any other, calling it sick, same reason. Submitting incomplete work, same reason. So option B is the best answer. Admit your mistake to your manager and propose a recovery plan for that. Next one, you are the team leader. Two of your subordinates are having a loud personal argument in the office. Option A, fire both of them. Extreme action. Ignore it, they are adults. So again, ignoring is not a solution. You have to address that concern because you are the team leader and two other subordinates are having a loud personal argument in the office. Intervene immediately and move the discussion to the private room. Makes sense? Because that way you have ensured that office decorum is maintained and that issue is also resolved. ठीक है, issues should also be resolved. So ignoring is not the right option. Intervening immediately and moving the discussion to a private room should be the best appropriate response. Option C should be the best answer. D क्या है? Join the argument to support the one who is right. Definitely not right. ठीक है, तुम्हें भी अपना जो फाइट है उसको कंटिन्यू करके और एस्केलेट नहीं करना है, तो सी इज द बेस्ट वन. यू प्रॉमिस्ड क्लाइंट डिलीवरी बाय ट्यूसडे. ऑन मंडे यू रियलाइज इट वोंट बी रेडी अंटिल थर्सडे. तो promised a delivery by Tuesday, but on Monday you realized that it will take till Thursday. Option A, wait until Tuesday to tell them, hoping for a miracle. Option B, tell them immediately on Monday and explain the delay. Option C, send a partial delivery on Tuesday and hide the rest. Or option D, stop answering the phone until Thursday. So you promised the delivery by Tuesday, but Monday you got the realization that it won't be ready until Thursday. Now, since you've got the realization on Monday, the best option is to tell the client as soon as possible. Delaying the information of delaying is not right. Okay, so B is the best one. You tell them immediately on Monday and explain the delay, why the delay could be there. Okay, waiting until Tuesday will only hamper your relationship with the client more. So this is not right. And there are no miracles. If you have realized that it will take until Thursday, so it will take until Thursday. It cannot be finished by Tuesday. Sending a partial delivery without disclosing the information is also not right, because you are hiding the rest. That is not right, because that will anyway be known. Stop answering the phone until Thursday. Absolutely not. Next question. You discover a young frightened thief in your home during a holiday when you are with your family. He is attempting to steal food from your kitchen. What will be your immediate response? Now read the question carefully. Question makes some informations are given straight away, और end में क्या पूछ रहा है question तुमसे? What will be your immediate response? ठीक है? So there might be some responses which may seem likely after your immediate response. ठीक है? But first of all, what should be your immediate response? You discovered a young and frightened thief. The thief is frightened, खुद डरा हुआ है, यंग भी है, in your home during a holiday when you are with your family. He is attempting to steal the food from your kitchen. Okay. Option A, confront him aggressively to protect your family and property. Option B, quietly offer him some food, ask him questions to understand his situation. Option C, lock him in the kitchen until the police arrive to ensure your family's safety. Or option D, ignore the situation to avoid alarming your family, hoping he leaves on his own. So which ones should be the absolutely wrong answers? Option D, ignoring the situation to avoid alarming your family and hoping he leaves on his own. So you cannot ignore the situation. He is a young and frightened thief, but the point is he's a thief and he's attempting to steal food. So ignoring the situation will not be the right solution. Confronting him aggressively to protect your family and property should also not be in the right direction. Why? Because he is not trying to harm your family and property. He is a young and frightened thief attempting to steal food. Okay, so you may do that later, confronting him aggressively if he is trying to harm your family and property later on, but immediately this should not be your correct response. Option A should not be your immediate response. Immediate response क्या होना चाहिए? Because you are observing that he is a young and frightened thief, he is trying to steal food, so you should try to understand his situation, his point of view, his perspective. So for that you need to talk to him. You may offer him food. So option B makes sense. Quietly offer him some food, ask him questions to understand his situation. Makes sense. He might just be hungry. ठीक है, he might just be hungry, or there might be some other case, but immediately you should first understand his situation. उसके बाद में ही तो कोई एक्शन लोगे. तो C कह रहा है lock him in the kitchen until the police arrive to ensure your family's safety. Now with option C, your family is safe and sound. So family's safety is ensured. That is good thing. But the problem is that you are locking him in the kitchen until the police arrive. So thief, and you have not understood his situation. Okay, so he is a young thief, a frightened thief. The problem is that this might not be good for that thief, and he might just be hungry, not actually a thief, but just be hungry. Okay, so B is better than option C for the immediate response. Okay, in a EQ question, B is definitely a lot better than option C. क्या ये part clear? Okay, because you have to be aware of the emotions of that thief as well. You have to be that empathetic. Okay, and he's not trying to harm your family or property in any way. He is just attempting to steal food from your kitchen. So you should first understand his situation. If possible, offer him food and ask him questions. Okay, next question. You have been working late to meet a deadline and notice a colleague doing the same but looking exhausted. What do you do? You are working late to meet a deadline and notice the colleague is also doing the same, but the colleague is looking exhausted. So what do you do? Option A, offer to help them finish their work, even if it means they're staying later. Option B, suggest taking a break together for some fresh air and to recharge. Option C, inform your manager that the colleague might need some support. Option D, keep working on your task, ignore their situation to meet your own deadline. Now clearly सबसे wrong answer कौन सा है? Option D, keep working on your task, ignore the situation. ठीक है, एक बार you have realized, you have noticed that the colleague is looking exhausted, you should not ignore that situation. You should try to address that. So D is the wrong answer, clearly. What should be the best response in such a case? You're noticing that the colleague is looking exhausted. So if someone is exhausted, the best option could be some rest. Best option could be some rest. Option A, offer to help them finish their work even if it means staying later. So that is good way. You are offering to help them finish their work. But the point is, even then, you are offering them some help. But they are exhausted. He is exhausted. So he needs some rest. Are you offering him that as well? So that will not be there. और additionally you are also working late to meet a deadline. तो तुम अपने काम को भी हैम्पर कर रहे हो और उसको, वो exhausted है, वो exhausted ही रहेगा, उसको भी रेस्ट कहाँ मिल रहा है? तो ऑप्शन ए इज नॉट राइट. ठीक है, डायरेक्शन सही है, डायरेक्शन सही है. यू आर ऑफरिंग टू हेल्प बट द पॉइंट इज ही इज एग्जॉस्टेड, ही विल रिमेन एग्जॉस्टेड, ही इज नॉट गोइंग टू रेस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. और तुम भी अपने एंड पे अपना भी काम हैम्पर कर रहे हो बिकॉज यू आर ऑल्सो वर्किंग लेट टू मीट अ डेडलाइन. सो no solution for this. Option B, suggest taking a break together for some fresh air and to recharge. Now this is good because in this case you are suggesting him to take a break together. You also need a break, he also needs a break, both are getting a break, and then recharging, and then you both can come back to the work later. Option C, informing your manager that the colleague might need some support. Now this also seems a fair option, informing the manager, but the point is कि immediately अभी तो exhausted है, तो अभी के लिए solution कहाँ हुआ? तो option C से B is a lot better. तो B should be the answer, suggesting taking a break together. Okay, clear है? Next question. You are in a meeting when a colleague takes credit for work that you've done. What do you do? In a meeting, a colleague has taken credit for the work that has been done by you. So what should you be doing? Option A, immediately and publicly confront the colleague over the ownership of the work. Option B, after the meeting, take the colleague aside and tell her that you would appreciate in the future she credits you when speaking about her work. Option C, nothing. It's not a good idea to embarrass colleagues in the public. And option D, after the colleague speaks, publicly thank her for her referencing your work and give the group more specific details about what you were trying to accomplish. Option A, immediately and publicly confront the colleague over the ownership of the work. No, that is not right. Okay? You should first try to understand the concern of the colleague, or you should be more responsive, more emotionally intelligent to address this situation. Okay? So A, immediate and public confrontation is not right. Rejected. Option C also is not right. Nothing. It's not a good idea to embarrass colleague in the public. Okay? So that is right, but you should not be doing nothing. You should be doing something because the colleague has taken credit for the work that you have done. So nothing is also not right. So between B and D, we have to choose. Option B, keh raha, after the meeting, take the colleague aside and tell her that you would appreciate in the future she credits you when speaking about her work. Makes sense? Okay, you can do that. After the meeting, take the colleague aside, tell her that you would appreciate in the future she credits you when speaking about her work. That seems fine. Option D, after the colleague speaks, publicly thank her for her referencing your work and give the group more specific details about what you were trying to accomplish. Between B and D, which one is better? In B, you are talking to the colleague directly, but after the meeting. Okay? But in the meeting, the colleague has taken credit for the work publicly, among others. So D, in case of option D, after the colleague has spoken, okay, you will wait till the colleague has finished speaking, then you will publicly thank her for her referencing your work. That way, you're not doing anything wrong to the colleague, and then giving the group more specific details about what you were trying to accomplish. That way, you are also addressing the concern of the colleague as well as your own. So this is the right way to address the concern, right and professional way to address the concern. Option D is the best among the given options. Definitely B is not wrong. Okay, B is also good, but D is better. D is better. So we'll be going with option D in this case. Okay. Next question. Maya feels neglected because her spouse has been prioritizing work over family for the past month. which reaction is least likely to restore their emotional intimacy? The question is asking about least likely reaction to restore their emotional intimacy. Option A, explaining her feelings of loneliness during using I statements. So she is explaining her feelings of loneliness. Seems makes sense because this will help them. Option B, asking about his current stress levels and workload. That also makes sense. Option C, making sarcastic remarks about him treating the house like a hotel. Option D, proposing a fixed unplugged hour for them each night. हमें वो रिएक्शन चूज करना है जो कि least likely होगा to restore their emotional intimacy. Maya is feeling neglected, so she can express her feelings or she can try to understand the situation of the spouse. ठीक है, either way can work और they both can collaboratively work in the right direction. तो कोई भी चीज चलेगा. ठीक है, either Maya can express her feelings or Maya can try to understand the emotions of the spouse, or they both can work together to find a solution. Is that it? So all are fine, but क्या फाइन नहीं होगा कि instead of any of these three कुछ और करे. ठीक है, जो कि और सिचुएशन को वर्सन करे. तो ऑप्शन ए, एक्सप्लेनिंग हर फीलिंग्स ऑफ लोनलीनेस, मेक्स सेंस. So this will not be the answer because we need to find out least likely. Option B, asking about his current stress levels and workload. That also makes sense. So this will not be the answer. Proposing a fixed unplugged hour for them each night also makes sense. Will help their restoring their emotional intimacy. So this will also not be the answer. Option C, making sarcastic remarks about him treating the house like a hotel. This will be the answer. This is least likely to restore their emotional intimacy. क्या ये clear है? Okay. Next one, you are leading a group project. One member is trying hard, but just is not smart enough to grasp the complex data. So what should you be doing? Option A, request to have them removed from the group to ensure project meets the deadline. Option B, give them the easiest task so they don't mess up. Option C, spend your own time tutoring them on the data. And option D, assign them a role that fits their strength rather than data analysis. So you're leading the project. One member is trying hard, but just is not smart enough to grasp the complex data. Okay, just is not smart enough. So option B, give them the easiest task so they don't mess up. Will this be the right answer? If you are giving them the easiest task, so this is like disengagement. है कि नहीं? Demotivating होगा. Maybe they are not smart enough to grasp the complex data, but they might be better at something else. So give them the task that they can do in a good way, efficiently. So assigning them a role that fits their strength makes sense rather than data analysis. So this makes sense rather than option B. So option D is a lot better than option B because option B में क्या होगा? They'll be disengaged, they'll be feeling demotivated. So not right. Not right. Option B should be rejected. Option A, request to have them removed. Now this is extreme. So this should also not be the correct answer. Option C, spend your own time tutoring them on the data. Now this seems good, tutoring them on the data, spend your own time. But the point is you are also working, you are leading the project and one member is trying hard. Now long term में तो अच्छा हो सकता है कि spend your own time tutoring them on the data, but in the short term this is not the efficient solution. So option D is a lot better, assigning them a role that fits their strength rather than tutoring them on the data by spending your own time. So option D is the best option. Okay, assigning them a role rather than spending your own time tutoring them. Okay. Next question, you are exhausted emotionally, yet people constantly rely on you for emotional support. Option A, continue helping at personal cost. You cannot keep doing it. This is not sustainable. Option B, cut everyone off. That is also extreme. So this should also not be done. Option C, communicate boundaries clearly and kindly. This makes sense. And option D, become indifferent. So neither option A nor B nor D should be chosen. C is the best one. Communicate boundaries clearly and kindly. That way you can be helped, and that definitely you will not be exhausted emotionally, and people can rely on you, but there should be some boundaries so that this also addresses your concern. Okay, clear hai? So next question, you are a manager, your most productive employee is consistently rude to the rest of the team, causing morale to drop. So what do you do? So the employee is most productive, but the behavior is not good. They are consistently rude. So you should tell them, okay, you cannot completely take action on them because that will be extreme. But the point is you should definitely let them know that this is not the right way to do. Option A, ignore the rudeness because their sales numbers are the best. No, you cannot ignore that. Because effectively this is causing the morale of the team to drop. Option B, fire them immediately. Now that is another extreme. You should also not be doing that. Option C, give a formal warning stating that behavior is as important as results. Makes sense. ऑप्शन डी, ट्रांसफर द सेंसिटिव टीम मेंबर्स टू अनदर डिपार्टमेंट. तो ये तो हो गया कि जो बेचारे परेशान है तुम उन्हीं को और परेशान कर रहे हो. ट्रांसफर द सेंसिटिव टीम मेंबर्स, एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग. ऑप्शन सी इज द बेस्ट आंसर. गिव अ फॉर्मल वार्निंग स्टेटिंग दैट बिहेवियर इज एज इंपॉर्टेंट एज द रिजल्ट्स. ओके, क्लियर है. सो दीज वर ऑल द क्वेश्चंस इन दिस सेशन. आई बिलीव जो भी हमने डिस्कस किया वो सारी बातें समझ में आई होंगी, सारे क्वेश्चंस अप्रिशिएट कर पाओगे. ठीक है, गिव योर फीडबैक इन द कमेंट सेक्शन एंड इफ यू लाइक दिस सेशन देन मेक श्योर हिट द लाइक बटन एज वेल. अगर अब तक चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो करें ना. दैट्स ऑल फॉर दिस सेशन. बाय बाय, टेक केयर एंड कीप लर्निंग.